So let's get to the next conversation. We've noticed that, all over the country, and a few papers actually carry this. Let me just jump to some of the newspapers, and then we'll hear from Atswei. Now, let me start with the Daily Guide, I think, the Daily Guide. So the Daily Guide says, MDC thugs on rampage, burning and looting. I would like to say, though, before we get into a conversation with Atswei, that I do not believe that we should label the behavior of the thugs as political, even though we understand the history of it, right? Because as soon as we label it as political, it becomes a reason for excusing, all right? So let's just deal with it as criminality, all right? So other papers also carry this. We have it on the Chronicle. Chronicle says police arrest 106 hooligans as it vows to deal ruthlessly with those attacking and looting officers. Other papers are also here carrying it. One Ghana movement condemns post-election violence. NDC support, this is on the News Center newspaper. NDC supporters intensify looting and attacks on public institutions. Arrest over NDC looting vandalism rises to 97. This is coming from the News Center newspaper report, quoting the police. And so there's quite a number of papers, all of them talking about this same thing. I want to read this this here before we hear from Atswei. Now, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says, act now. This story is on citynewsroom.com. Act now to curb rising lawlessness, Mahama to Akufo-Addo. President-elect John Dramani Mahama has called on President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the country's security agencies to take decisive action to curb the rising incidents of lawlessness following the December 7th elections. Now, reports indicate that the alleged supporters of the National Democratic Congress have stormed several state agencies, ransacking offices and causing disruptions. Now, and in a national address on Tuesday, December 10th, Mahama condemned these acts of vandalism and lawlessness, calling for an immediate end to the attacks on state offices and installations. These actions are unacceptable, I quote, and must stop immediately. I urge the President and the security agencies to act swiftly to restore law and order, Mahama stated. I won't read the entire thing, but let me come to you, Atswei, your thoughts.
And so, David, you see, with all the passion, with all the consciousness in me, I would condemn this act of hooliganism, vandalism, and what have you. And someone will say that it is alleged that it is members of the NDC who are actually perpetuating this. Political colours does not give anybody immunity from being arrested and the law dealing ruthlessly with a person. And so it doesn't matter whether those engaging in this lawlessness belong to the NDC, belong to the In fact, I have heard in instances where people have said that members of the NPP are also disgruntled at their leadership. As at yet, some of them remain unemployed and what have you, and so are joining in, in the vandalism, in the looting, in the hooliganism. What I'm saying is that it doesn't matter the party colors, whether you are green or blue. The law must deal with you. Now, President Mahama's call was in twofold. One, to those actually perpetuating the lawlessness to stop, and then calling on the security services to act, right? What he can do as president-elect is to call a group of people to order, or to call the nation to order. But the action still rests with His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It rests with Vice President Dr. Bawumia. It rests with the police service. What I'm saying is that the winning of the election by the NDC should not in any way interfere with the work or maybe justice delivery, maybe maintaining peace and order. You understand what I mean? if it's a group of NDC people who are being jubilant about the win of their party, and they want to actually extend the excesses into legally constituted institutions or people's private residences and offices to cause financial loss and to cause a certain instability, the law must deal with them. I repeat, nobody must be spared. And the caution is that the NDC as a party is not ready to defend anybody found engaging in any act of lawlessness.
Okay.
In other words, the NDC does not endorse chaos and lawlessness. We are a law-abiding political party. And so the NDC would give out any NDC member, right, who is found to be on the wrong side of the law. You won't come hiding in the name of, I'm a member of the NDC. No. What our party leadership has stated is that the police should deal with anybody in accordance with the law who is found to actually be part or have a hand in this lawlessness. And by this, we are not only talking about NDC people or MPP people, we are even talking about officials of the Electoral Commission who at a point, some of them at a point, refuse to carry out their legally mandated rights. For example, if you've collected results and there is the need for you to declare, why would you want to be forced, or would you want to be, why you have collected results? What does the law actually require you to do? The law requires you to declare. Declare if it goes in the favor of the NPP. Declare if it goes in the favor of the NDC. But when you sit with results and saying, for example, I'm waiting for an instruction, what exactly in the instruction? Is the instruction above the law? Is the person from whom you are waiting for the instruction from above the law? I'm sure we found some of these, vandalism, some of these EC officials who were at a point refusing to carry out their duties. Some have been captured on video by media people like you. What I am suggesting is that the IGP must act. Where there is the need to prosecute people, prosecute them. If there is the need to jail. Party color should not give immunity. If they are from the NDC side, take them through the law. If they are from the NPP side, take them through the law. If they are from the NPP side, and like we are hearing, their party hasn't given them a job, and so they will join in the vandalism. Please, the law must deal with each and every one of them. In fact, I agree, it was an election. NDC has won. What next? Wait for transition and come into power. Let not anybody carry himself in such a way that you are thinking simply by the winning of election of the NDC, then there's a certain vacuum in leadership.
Yeah.
There is no vacuum in leadership. Ghana is enjoying stability. President Akufo-Addo is at post. President Mahama is not the president, is president-elect. And so nobody should misconstrue that to think that there is no leadership.
Yeah.
Please, people must act within the law. The law must deal ruthlessly with anybody found on the wrong side of it.
We have some images of some of the vandalism that has taken place in different places, but I would like to just put this in context to say that a lot of what we are seeing has an antecedent. So, things that were done back in the day, this is the Forestry Commission office in Achimota. Back in the day when toilets were taken over violently, when toll booths were taken over violently, and nothing was done about it, in terms of the law and the law taking its course on people exacting the legal process on people who were vandalizing. And so today we find ourselves, the thing has escalated and gone beyond this point. I'm just, just putting it in context and saying that we need to be decisive, and aggressive on this thing so that it doesn't get any worse than it is. Because you see, today it's state institutions that are being attacked. What will it be, in a different era in the future if we don't go hard on this? Yes,
but David, I'm sure you'd also agree with me that, like, it's coming from a certain precedent that has been set. Though bad precedent might have been set with hooliganism and vandalism, it is not a justification for the one that is currently happening.
Okay.
No justification under the sun, under the moon, by day or by night, can be actually put forward, you know, to actually whitewash what is happening. Lives and properties are at stake.
Yeah.
We went into an election. Elections have been declared.
Yeah.
And for those areas that have not been declared,
and this is not how you celebrate an election.
This is not how to. This is not how to celebrate a win.
It's not a
And you
celebration.
see, it is not just about celebrating a win.
Yeah.
If you are bitter because you went into an election and
True.
lost, this is also not
How
how
to
to, you know, celebrate.
lick your wounds.
Lick your wounds.
Yeah.
You know, that's not how to show your frustration or register your displeasure. So I'm saying that all individuals that are found, you know, culpable of this offense must be made to face the law.
Yeah.
Party colors should not give anybody immunity. Past or precedent that has been set either by any of the political parties is not a justification for what is currently happening. And then on that, let us all urge the Electoral Commission that in areas, I mean, for the parliamentary seats that they are contentions, maybe there is a way to fast track. Let us do that because the uncertainty, you know, breeds some of these instabilities that we are seeing. And so the Electoral Commission must act fast. The police must act so that we bring some finality to this matter.
Okay, I would like us to play the announcement by the president-elect and his call on the security services to act decisively. Let's take a look at that.
Meanwhile, President-elect John Dramani Mahama has called on President Akufo-Addo to take decisive action to end the acts of vandalism across the country. In a national address, Mahama condemned the violent actions by some youth at various state institutions and urged for calm amidst the growing tension. He emphasized the need for peace and order during the ongoing transition process and called for all political parties to work together to ensure stability in the country.
Unwavering support in Saturday's election. This is a moment of hope, unity and opportunity for our great nation. However, I must address a matter of urgent importance tonight. Transitions from one administration to another create the impression of a vacuum of power, and certain people are easily compelled to act in their own parochial interest instead of the national interest. I've received reports of attacks on state offices and installations. While it's unclear who is behind these attacks, I condemn them in no uncertain terms. These acts must cease immediately. As I said during my post-declaration speech, I urge the youth not to vent their frustration in criminal enterprise. Instead, they must channel their anger and frustration into the positive enterprise of resetting and rebuilding our beloved nation. I urge all our citizens to remain calm and avoid actions that could harm our institutions and our democracy. We have fought hard for change, and now is the time to demonstrate our commitment to rebuilding the Ghana we want through unity and understanding. Because state power is still in the hands of the present administration, I call on the President and the security agencies to act decisively to curb the ongoing acts of lawlessness immediately. I thank you, my fellow citizens, and may God bless our homeland.
All right, now there's a story on citynewsroom.com. I want to just quickly read that. Something that's coming from Wenchi. Unidentified youth beat police commander to pulp and release 8 inmates. Very unfortunate. Unidentified youth in the Wenchi municipality of the Bunu region have attacked the municipal police commander, Nana Boachi Yadom, leaving him severely injured, and released 8 inmates from police custody. The group also vandalized the police station, causing significant property damage. Now, a source within the Wenchi police, speaking anonymously, disclosed that the incident occurred on Tuesday morning after DSP Yadom went to the Tuhaba area, a suburb of Wenchi, to arrest a suspect. Upon finding the suspect absent, The commander reportedly detained the suspect's pregnant wife and brought her to the police station. Angered by the arrest, a youth stormed the police station to free the woman. During the attack, they vandalized the commander's vehicle, the charge office, and other items, including a flat-screen TV, fridge, computer equipment, and sliding doors. In the chaos, the youth also broke into the cells and freed 8 inmates. Now, DSP Yadom is currently receiving treatment at the Bono Regional Teaching Hospital. Very, very unfortunate incident there. Your thoughts on this?
And so maybe my initial thoughts will be that I'm thinking how a pregnant woman would be detained. Is that what the law requires? Because if you come to arrest someone and you don't meet the person, I'm not sure that you should exchange that person for a vulnerable person.
Okay.
In this person, it's not just maybe just a wife, but that's a pregnant wife. And so maybe the police should have been a bit considerate. And so the youth also, in an attempt maybe to free the pregnant wife, freed others. Sometimes I'm sure people forget that the law exists and ignorance of it is not an excuse. If the police comes and even detains, granted the police even detains someone's pregnant wife, is it you to set the person free, the detained pregnant woman free? Now, in an attempt to set the pregnant woman free, even if they did not attempt to set the 8 others free, but per your actions and inactions, the 8 others fled, you are actually accountable per your actions for all the 8, that fled. And so the caution is that, let's all be considerate. Let's be measured in some of the things that we do. Let's not take the law into our own hands. But I pray that the pregnant woman is safe. She's vulnerable. You cannot tell the state of the pregnancy.
Yeah.
What if beyond this, God forbid, something adverse happened? It could be attributed to the arrest, to the trauma, to the detention, to maybe also the unhygienic state of our prison cells. So I think that just maybe the police should have resisted the attempt to detain the pregnant wife. It may not have led to all these agitations and the property damage that we are seeing. But the detention of the pregnant wife is not also a sufficient justification for some irate youth to, pound on police officers and police property and destroy them in such a manner. I pray that the pregnant woman is free. I pray that those 8 people are brought back and taken through due process. And then the youth who also caused this are also made to face the law. I think that this would be my thoughts on that.
Okay, we have some messages that came through earlier. Let me just quickly read them. Congratulations to President Mahama, the NDC, and Ghana as a whole. Ghanaians will hold President Mahama accountable for his promise to prosecute all those who were involved in corruption in the Akufo-Addo's administration. If he fails to fulfill this particular promise, the NDC, Ghanaians will vote the NDC out in 2028. President Mahama should please try and calm his people down from the destruction of state properties. Victory is not about destruction. This is EL from Upper West. Excuse me. Now, Philip in Adenta says it's obvious that Akufo-Addo does not care about the lawlessness and the vandalism that is ongoing in the country. He did the same with Galamsey. I think Dr. Bawumia should step in and talk to Ghanaians to stop all this vandalism. Dr. Bawumia has actually spoken as well on this issue. Hello, good morning. My name is Kenneth from Spentex. Please, our president should be reminded that if he refuses to act on his promise to deal with any MPP member who has misused state money, we will demonstrate to his office until he does what we want. Okay, so that's in reference to the president-elect. Okay. Hi, good morning. I'm Ebenezer in New Abrim. Actually, JDM has come to stay. And the final message here says that those involved in vandalizing national assets in post-election are purely criminals and must be dealt with according to the law. President Akufo-Addo must start the prosecution process for Mahama to finish it and put these wicked people in jail. All right, final thoughts before we say our goodbyes?
Well, my final thought. So the NPP on many occasions said that they are not going to hand over power to the NDC. I mean, they vowed that they will hand over power today, they will hand over power
I don't think the NPP as a party ever did that.
Well,
there may have been individuals who made those comments.
Individuals speak for the party. And they said that the NPP, individuals did not even say they won't hand over power. They said the NPP. And they were actually speaking on NPP organized national platforms.
Yeah, okay,
and so that translates into the voice of the NPP, that they will not hand over power. Now today, after they are,
who are you quoting specifically?
I'm quoting the likes of Brian Achampon and others.
Okay.
Now today, Dr. Baumia says, "Oh, we handed over power to the NDC." I see. I thought they said they will retreat, they will surrender. This is the earliest retreat and earliest surrender we've seen in Ghana's politics. But all the same, we wish the NPP well. We'll be waiting for them. We'll be waiting for them in 2028 for yet another. They can't even take that one. Early days here. But thanks to the good people of Ghana for the confidence reposed in the perfect pair of hands, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Her Excellency Professor Jane Nano Pukwajima. Thank you, David.
All right, thank you very much to you, Na Atswei. So we've been having this conversation. I've been having this conversation with Na Atswei Niope. She is a member of the NDC communication team. Thank you for watching this segment of the show.